What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to give you my honest opinion, honest thoughts on a YouTuber that you all probably know, Crypto Galaxy. I've seen a lot of hate videos lately saying that he's a scammer and saying that he pumps and dumps on his audience and his users and his VIPs. And I just kind of wanted to give you my opinion on what I think and what my experiences are with him and his group. So if you like the content, please hit that subscribe button, like the video. Let's get into it. So a little while back, I decided I was going to change my life financially for the better. Crypto was going to be the vehicle that I was going to do that with. I don't think that there's any other way to accelerate life-changing gains and changing your life financially for the better than crypto. So that was the vehicle I decided to go with. I followed dozens of YouTubers. They all seemed to spew the same old nonsense. I thought I was doing okay. That is until I stumbled across a YouTuber called Crypto Galaxy. His theory and his method was to buy the cryptos before they pumped, and to buy the cryptos on a small exchange before they get listed on big mainstream exchanges. And that turned on a light bulb in my head. The normie inside of me was, on that day, disappeared. It was dead. I started watching his live streams every single day, soaking in the new, what I would consider at the time, revolutionary info that I had just come across. And about 3 months in to watching CG streams, literally every single day, he started teasing a new gem that he was about to buy. Now, at this point, I was not part of his VIP group, and I got a little FOMO thinking, I want to know what this project is. So I couldn't resist the temptation, and I signed up for his VIP group that day. Almost immediately after I signed up, he put out a buy alert for a little project called Neon EVM. I quickly made the purchase because he had been talking about how much money his group was making, how rich, they all are after previous, VIP buy alerts that I wasn't privy to at that point in time, except for, of course, Caspa. He, I guess, strengthened my conviction in Caspa. So Neon EVM, like I said, I made the purchase, and then he was very helpful on his Discord to help people who were struggling to buy it as well. So even behind the scenes, he put out tutorials on exactly where to buy it, how to buy it, each step involved, getting it from the exchange back into your cold storage, one key or Tangent wallet. So all of that was very helpful. He was very active and very good at making sure his members were able to purchase and how to purchase his buy alerts. So fast forward a few months, and Neon went on to do a 50x in a very short amount of time. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was extremely grateful to CG for doing the legwork and the research to find this gem, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do that. I don't know how he was finding these things, but I was very appreciative that he was sharing them to us. I had never seen gains like that before I stumbled upon Crypto Galaxy. Never have seen those type of gains before in that short amount of time. So I'm like, this guy's the real freaking deal at this point. And I was just excited, as anybody would be, for getting a 50x gain in a very short amount of time. So fast forward again a few more weeks, and a new buy alert comes out for a project called Mint Layer. Went on to 20x from where it was. It bounced around a little bit at first, but with patience, these things seem to be just taking off at a certain point in time because the market cap's really low and they're in good narratives. So since joining VIP, I am 2 for 2. Again, very grateful, very excited, and I'm thinking in my head, this guy is freaking legit, real deal. And this is the best thing that I could have ever stumbled upon as far as YouTube goes and as far as investing strategies go. So the reason I'm making this video is a lot of people I've seen lately on YouTube have been making other videos calling CG a scammer and a pump and dumper and dumping on his followers. Now, I don't know what actually goes on behind the scenes with anyone for that matter, on social media. So I'm not going to speculate here at all, because it's not my place. But what I can say is that in my experience, personally, CG has done nothing to give me red flags. He has done everything to help me personally if I reached out to him in Discord for a question. It was answered, and just the return on my investments have been astronomical since joining the VIP. In this market, you have to be your own investor. You can join somebody's Discord, you can love what their strategies are, but at the end of the day, blindly following anybody is just irresponsible. So there still has to be a brain in your head, and you still have to be responsible for your own actions. So you can argue that the Myro debacle, or some will say the virtual versions VV little scandal of it, pumping a week before his buy alert went out, are causes for red flags when it comes to pumping and dumping or scamming his users or people that follow him. I would argue maybe he was just really bullish on the projects. Myro, for instance, maybe he really liked it, really thought that there was going to be a tier 1 Binance listing coming in the near future. Maybe he had no idea. You got to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, and things fell through. It was an anonymous team, so it's not like he had any insight on who these guys probably were or what they were actually doing. He's reading tea leaves of them saying something big is coming, and then something big never came. I don't consider that irresponsible on his part. He is just trying to do what we're all trying to do, basically, is figure out what's going on and figure out how we can make money from what's going on. So I don't see any wrongdoing there, even in the sense of him telling his followers to buy Myro close to all-time highs, which is typically against his, methodology. If you really think a tier 1 listing is right around the corner, then buying at those prices was probably going to be a good thing to do. So it just didn't pan out, and everything is not always going to pan out, right? So you can't, that's why I'm saying you can't listen to a guy on YouTube and completely take everything he says 100% as gold, because he's just human like all of the rest of us are. And he is going to make mistakes, and he is going to hit home runs, and there will be some in between as well. So you've got to take the good for what it is and the bad for what it is. He's not perfect, so I don't fault him for any of that. Could there have been bad intentions behind it? I have no idea, right? I'm not going to pretend to know. All I'm saying is, from my perspective, I don't see any bad intentions. And again, that's just my perspective. You guys can have your own perspectives. You can disagree with me. You can agree with me. It is what it is. It's a free country. We can all agree to disagree on different things. That's what makes this country so great. So when it's all said and done, I've learned a lot from Crypto Galaxy. I wouldn't trade that knowledge that I have brought in from him for anything. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I'm not really sure where all the hate is coming from. Unless you just don't like his brash personality. I have nothing bad to say about him. I can look at his buy alerts, and I can look at the project, and I can, as my own person, decide whether I want to buy into that project or whether I don't want to buy into that project, right? Just because he puts out a buy alert doesn't mean that you have to buy it. Just because he tells you to buy Myro at 18 cents or 14 cents when it was, close to all-time highs, doesn't mean that you have to buy it. You can think for yourself, and I challenge everybody to start thinking for themselves, because that is the next level of how life in general, how you're going to take your life in general to the next level, is by being your own person, being your own investor, being your own thinker, right? You can get ideas from other people. You can follow other people. You can, take ideas from other people. But when it's all said and done, the risk and the liability lies on you alone, right? It doesn't lie on anybody else. You can't blame anybody else for your investing mistakes or for your life mistakes. That's just not the way the world works. And until you take responsibility for yourself and say, that was my problem, I shouldn't have done that, and stop blaming other people for your problems, your life cannot take that next step. And you cannot take that next step in success. So keep that in mind when investing in the future and in doing anything in the future, right? Make sure you are your own last line of defense and you blame yourself for anything that goes wrong in your own life because you need to take responsibility for it, right? So I actually respect greatly Crypto Galaxy's honesty and how he swaps out normies into non-normies, which would be his words. He shocks them in a way which a lot of people might think is rude, but it works. And his following and how quickly he's grown proves that that works. I think that that's a good thing when it's all said and done, because there's too many sheep in this world, and there's too many normies in this world that need to be shocked out of their way of thinking that they've been implementing their whole entire life and have gotten nowhere doing that. So what is that saying? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the true definition of insanity. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time because it rings true in every aspect of life. If you want something to change your way of thinking, right? Full disclosure, I have not purchased any of CG's gym hunting courses or taking profit courses or anything like that. I believe that people should have access to the ways of finding low cap gyms without paying a fortune. So you could argue whether paying this amount of money for these bundles is, in your budget or not. A lot of these methods are probably free out there to the public already. It's just him telling you how to do them. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that don't have enough money to be able to purchase something like that. So what I would like to do is help those people who are just starting out or that don't have a lot of money be able to find, and some methods of finding, these low cap potential 100x gyms for free. That's what I'm going to be doing part-time on this channel. I'm going to dedicate some full live streams to doing that. And we're going to go through and find some low cap gyms, and I'll give you my opinion on what it is, and I'll show you exactly what I do in order to find them. I want to help people find these gyms for free and teach them the methods for free. Those that can't afford to pay for something like that, but I still want them to be successful. And I still want people to be able to learn for themselves and start doing research for themselves, because ultimately that just makes a better world, right? When people start doing things for themselves and taking responsibility for themselves. So I just want to build a great community of like-minded individuals to ride this profit wave that we're about to see. No paid marketing, no paid promotion, no bullshit. Everything's free. It's just hanging out, having fun, and learning, all for free. Let's find the next potential 100x gym together, and let's become millionaires together. That is the goal of this channel.